A man created a toroidal field for levitation using insect wings. Star forts don't make any sense. And Egyptian-looking petroglyphs are found in Tennessee. Let's get into it.
He wrote a whole book about this. He built this levitation platform. Unless people know this technology, they think he's a crank. He's just talking rubbish. Well, I believe he's actually telling us exactly what's going on here. It looks like he had a motorbike handle on that device and just cranked up the frequency. At some
You can see him just float in there. That would be sweet.
frequency, that sound through the bug's wings would have created that toroidal field around his little levitation device. He said that he moved faster than the speed of sound on that levitation platform. And because you've got this balanced toroidal field around you that he somehow managed to create, it wasn't dangerous. Then he started studying the bug's wings, and look at the image on the left here. Pay attention, very close attention to that structure there. And then we get back to the Taurus stones that emit powerful sound and frequencies. We've measured sound energies coming out of the Taurus stones, very, very powerful frequencies. Some of them give us up to 3,400 decibels of sound. That's very, very powerful stuff. Very high frequencies. You can't hear it, but it affects your body. Also, what I've been noticing is that these Taurus stones can act as intentional tools. If you put your intention into it, it amplifies your thoughts, amplifies your intentions, these Taurus stones.
So I don't know a whole bunch about those Taurus stones, but I was interested in that bug levitation. I don't know if you've ever seen that before, but that's pretty wild. And I don't know how Taurus fields work, but I've also heard that some like insect flight seems a little weird, and it seems like I'm not sure if this is true, but they don't know how like bumblebees and stuff fly. It seems like how their wings actually like flap. Let's look that up. Let's see if ChatGPT knows exactly how insects fly. Yo ChatGPT, do we know how insects fly? Obviously they got wings, but is it just actually beating against air, or is it something else?
It's more intricate than just flapping like tiny bird wings. Insect wings operate at a small scale where air can act almost syrupy. They use a motion called clap and fling, where wings meet, press air out, then fling apart to generate lift. They also rely on airflow vortices, tiny whirlwinds that form along wing edges, to add lift. Plus, their muscles can vibrate faster than their nerve impulses, creating those rapid beats. In short, it's part wing flapping and part aerodynamic wizardry.
Does it have anything to do with toroidal fields or any sort of other weird kind of levitation of any kind?
No, it's not really anything as exotic as toroidal fields or mysterious levitation. Insects rely on well-understood aerodynamic principles just on a very small scale. The magic is in how they generate lift with those tiny wings and vortices. So while it looks almost magical, it's rooted in physics. No hidden levitation tricks involved.
Nah, I don't know. That was kind of, I don't know, maybe that levitation thing. I want to believe that levitation thing is real. I do.
This is a powerful, portable, mobile PEMF device. So the iTours 2 was our flagship product.
Have you guys ever heard of a PEMF device? PEMF, did I say that correctly? Device. You know, I hear about things like this donut-shaped thing we got going on here, this toroidal field. He's going to tell you that you plug this one in, but I've never seen them plugged in, and I don't know why something like this would interfere or be stronger than the other thing, or like how much power these things need to actually like work correctly. I don't know what's going on with those, but we'll see what he has to say.
For a while, the most popular product. So it has an audio input here. This audio
input.
An auxiliary cable that connects right to your phone, your tablet, your computer, to your headphone jack. So the field is going to be measurable out to 6 feet. Sometimes I'll use it on the airplane, which is a really good place to do it because when you're on the airplane, you're exposed to so much electromagnetic pollution. And when you're walking around crowds, playing the chakra frequencies, creating a huge 6-foot toroidal magnetic field around you, and that's going to keep you in a little bit of a force field when you're around a lot of people, EMF pollution.
Let's ask ChatGPT about that one. That one's weird. Yo, ChatGPT, can you tell me a little bit about PEMF devices?
PEMF stands for pulsed electromagnetic field. These devices emit electromagnetic pulses aimed at stimulating cells. The idea is that these pulses can help with things like pain relief, reducing inflammation, and even promoting healing. They're used in wellness settings for things like muscle recovery or joint issues. The science is still being explored, but some studies suggest benefits, while others are more cautious. So it's a complementary therapy, not a magic fix.
So I saw something that was a device that you could plug into your phone, and it was supposed to help protect against electromagnetic frequencies. Does something like that actually work?
In short, no credible scientific evidence supports devices like that actually blocking or protecting you from everyday electromagnetic frequencies in any meaningful way. EMFs from phones or Wi-Fi are already regulated to safe exposure levels. A lot of these protection gadgets are more marketing than proven shielding. If you're concerned about EMFs, simple things like using hands-free or limiting prolonged direct exposure are more practical.
All right.
I'd like to begin with Fort Jefferson, which is located in the Florida Keys, making this one of the strangest structures in the world, in my opinion. Supposedly, they had slaves trying to build it for 30 years.
I always love how every place just has these slaves that are just capable of making great work. The slaves are just fantastic. The slaves in the past are just not like they are today, I guess, you know?
Years. Of course, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you will understand the narrative often uses these slaves or prisoners as their master builders, because we all know they have an artistic, steady hand. So 16 million bricks later, in 1876, they said, we're all done building it, and just left it unfinished, which is obviously the most logical thing to do, and just a brilliant idea. Even unfinished, it remains the largest masonry structure in the Western Hemisphere.
The largest masonry in the Western Hemisphere, this construction, this Star Fort off of Florida, which doesn't really make sense of what it's, tells us what it's for, a defensive thing or something else. I think it has to do with some sort of infrastructure that we had in the past that we no longer use. And I think it had some sort of utility function, and it wasn't a fort for anybody for any defensive purposes of any reason.
Of course, this was found, and this story is completely fabricated, which is exactly why they had to turn this into a prison. Now that we have that story all laid out, let's begin to ask some basic, open-minded questions. Who decides that this is a good spot for the largest masonry structure in the Western Hemisphere, without any fresh drinking water, in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico? Literally. Is this logistically possible in this time period?
Or in the Gulf of Mexico.
16
Yeah,
million
okay, yeah.
bricks onto this little piece of land? What is going on here? It's clear that the
Gulf
land
of
was
America.
marked perfectly. Which company in the 1800s were in the business of land creation in the ocean?
That's weird. I don't know if you guys have ever even heard of star forts. Have you guys even heard of star forts? Because they're crazy. Let's ask ChatGPT. They're this weird mystery of these star forts that looked in the shape of stars all over the world. First, let's look up a Google image of that. Star forts. Images. Look at that. Look at these crazy structures, dude. These star forts that just exist. These are real. And they're big. And these walls are thick. In a lot of these star forts, they're real crazy. Some cities are just star forts. Some are bigger. Some are smaller. I'm pretty sure the Statue of Liberty is on top of a star fort. There's so much weird stuff. Look at this thick one. Like, what's going on here? It doesn't look like some defensive thing. And these big ones here, I don't know if we can click on them. Yeah, they don't ever get bigger. I got to figure that out yet. It's pissing me off. There we go, I guess. But whole village inside these star forts. So these star forts are real interesting and something I should probably really just do a deeper dive on a different day. because they're super fascinating and they're all over the world. So go down that rabbit hole for a little bit of star forts. Just wild.
You hear about the waterfall that was just discovered in the jungles of Tennessee and no one's ever known that it's there? But what's crazy about it is what's at the bottom of it, because it rewrites the entire history of America and the United States.
First of all, what do you mean undiscovered in Tennessee? That's what I don't get. First of all, what do you mean we just unexplored in Tennessee yet? Like, I could see like spots, like smaller spots and like specific sections and, places that, unmarked hiking trails and whatever else that people wouldn't go to or something, and private land that's been off that people can't go to because it's someone's private land. But other than that, I don't really get how you could just find this in the United States all of a sudden, like it just pops up.
States of America. At the bottom is a cavern chamber that they said is full of Egyptian artifacts. In fact, on the wall of it, they said that there's petroglyphicers that tells the history of the world. And it's not quite in the Egyptian writing. They say it's more like a reformed Egyptian. But it says that man was placed on earth by our sky cousins, and that the United States is a land that's super important, is what it says. So I'm going to go down there tomorrow with Dr. Remy Demi. I'm super excited, a little nervous, and take pictures and see what other artifactage is. They said there's a chest that's locked, and it says there's a curse on it that says "Do not open." And so we'll likely open it to see what's inside, but I'll keep.
Dude, that is crazy though. I like how now we're on the map now, and it's good to, what did he say? It's America is important, so it's important land or something like that. So it's good. I'm glad that we got that reassurance from this old carving. That reminds me, though. Oh, I meant to bring this up because I was telling my mom that there's some weird things in the Grand Canyon that are Egyptian, and then I come across this more Egyptian stuff in some random caves now in Tennessee. Like, that's some weird stuff.
Look at this thing. What in the Game of Thrones? Come on. Gargoyle humans?
This stuff does not make sense, but I'm sure you've seen this type of work before. These Windows features, these this style of windows. This style right here is actually right down the street from me at a cemetery. There's an older building that has this style of whatever concrete in between there with these whatever quatrefoil or four-leaf clover patterns or whatever they may be. But this stuff is insane. And the same style building that has a top like this is in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, not too far away. There's a beautiful building of this that I should take some pictures of and share with you guys as well.
Reminds me of St. John's the Divine. They had humans doing Soldier Boy.
And you can, if I can pause it where it's clear here, we see these things here, these little nubs. I've talked about these little nubs. You see these on church buildings and all these things. I swear this stuff served a purpose. They didn't put these little nubs just for decoration. And if they did, I think they would have been more decorative nubs, you would think, of some sort or something like that. I don't know. But I think that has to do with something else, some ether power of some sort. Something's going on. You don't just do this. You don't just do that.
The Soldier Boy. Come on, it's New Haven.
That stuff's incredible.
What is that clock from? I'm risking getting a ticket right now, but I had to pull up on this thing. I'm trying to get it here all day. What was going on up there? Like, who are these people? Is that another goat human?
Like, what is this going on? What are we doing here? What are these people? What's going on? We don't do this stuff. This is like some gargoyle statue figure thing. I don't know if it's an actual gargoyle. I don't know. I can't really tell.
What is going on up there? Come on, sound off in the comments. Am I crazy? What year did they build this thing?
Look at those shots. Like, look at how beautiful this is. This is insane. This stuff is insane. Look up, people. Look up.
What is that? Come on, man. What is going on here? Just because you can't do it doesn't mean it wasn't done. Grandpa apologist. Grandpa Bill. Look. Come on. This makes sense to you? Come on, man. Frankenstein.
It does not make sense to me.
Come on, man.
Not on the story they're telling us.
Yale.
Yeah, this is Yale.
This thing is so high up. You don't understand. I'm getting vertigo.
Yale University.
Trying to film that. Make it make sense. Who is that guy? Come on, Yale. We got 2 fart chambers, a his and a her. There was no family.
This
storm
guy's
back then.
hilarious.
But look at this thing. Look at those people off the side. Who is that?
Like, what is all going on with all this stuff? It's seriously wackadoo. A book here.
Come on. Make it make sense. Where's the cornerstone? Tell me 1931. Like the rest of Yale. Another fart chamber. That's all we're referring to them as in 2026. Fart chambers. What?
Well, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you have a lovely day. And if you do like these videos, like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.